My name is Jane Hopper and I'm the vet for Howletts and Port Lympne Wild Animal Parks. I don't know an exact number for the animals I looked after, but it's certainly several hundred and many different types of species. We've got everything from reptiles to birds to all the different types of mammals you could think of. I have several favourite animals in the park, and to be honest, often it's the animal I'm with at the time. But there are a few special animals. There's a tapir called Lympne, who was very sick a couple of years ago and has sort of pulled through and got much better. And there's a very special type of monkey called Shafaka, Noel, who's also very lovely, and I like him a lot too. But lots of animals within the park, and to be honest, whichever one I'm with at the time is usually my favourite. There's one animal in the park that I find a little bit scary, and it's a bit silly. I find the ostrich quite scary, and all the keepers know it, and they always tease me about it. I wanted to be a vet because I think it's fascinating, sort of working out how animals work and what's wrong with them and how to make them better, and just understanding what's going on with them is fascinating, and you can never know everything. The best thing for me about being a vet at Howletts and Port Lympne is there's always something different, and you can never quite know everything. Just when we think we've got to, on top of all the species that we have here, the parks will get in something new and completely different, and we have to go back to sort of stage one and start learning the basics and what diseases they get, what blood values are normal, all this type of thing. So I really enjoy learning new things all the time, and there's always something new every week. We are really lucky at both Howletts and Port Lympne for the amount of space that we have. The animals live in huge paddocks and roam about much more sort of natural behaviour than at some smaller parks. So I think that really helps their health. And the other thing that really helps them is their diet, which at both parks is very good. Huge amounts of money and effort is spent getting on many different types of fruit, different types of browse, and those two things together make a huge difference to the health of the animals. The breeding programmes here have always been very successful. I think that's because the animals are often kept in quite large groups, sort of natural groups they'd be found in the wild, so they can exhibit normal group behaviour. As I said, they have large amounts of space to roam about in, and they have really good diets, which sort of optimises their health. So I think that makes them very successful. Since I've been here, several animals have been lucky enough to go back to Africa and back into the wild. And I guess, yes, on some level we do miss them, but on another level we're so happy to think of them, roaming around free. And it's very nice that 2 rhinos went back last year, and we get frequent reports and they're doing very well. And just a couple of months ago I took 3 little infant gorillas back to Gabon, which was really exciting. And yes, on some level we miss them because I used to go and see them every few days and you'd see them playing about, but it's so much nicer for them to be in Gabon, and really we're quite proud that we could help them get there. One of the things that's very important for us in the park is to make sure that animals don't get a large burden of parasites such as worms in their guts and things. So we have to test their poo twice a year. So all the animals get their poo tested twice a year, and that can sometimes be a little bit of a boring and laborious job, but my vet nurse helps me that a lot, and to be honest, I don't have to do a lot of it myself. I think if you want to become a vet, there's some quite clear guidelines now. You have to do a lot of experience before you can even apply to vet school. So you have to spend quite a lot of time on farms and in horse liveries and at your local vets. And then you can apply to vet school, and then you have to do even more work experience at various places. And then you can eventually become a vet and then try and specialise in zoo medicine. My normal day is I start here at the vet hospital at 8 o'clock. And my vet nurse and I chat through what we're going to do for the day. We go through various emails and sort of lab tests from the night before, and then we'll do some rounds, go and see the animals that either have become sick that day or are on some treatment and getting better. We usually sedate probably 2 animals every day, either for a health check or because something is wrong with them and we need to take some samples. And then in the afternoon we'll go to Howletts and do the same thing there. So it's a lot of chatting to keepers, a lot of looking at animals, and as I said, probably examining 2 animals most days. Yeah, I'm very lucky. I do love my job, and there's always something different to sort of keep me interested.